Hey y'all, it's Michelle Pippin with WomenWhoWow.com and our official blog at BeMichellePippin.com, and I am super excited to be here with you for another episode of Mornings with Michelle. And today I want to talk about this new scary world of too ambitious, right? This is something that I have found as very new. It's different than when I first went into business for myself, right? I'm sorry, I have this in my ear and I want to take that out. So thank you for joining me live, those of you who are with me live. I really want these Mornings with Michelle to be more of a conversation. So if you have a comment to add, a way to disagree with me and all of that, or a question that you want me to answer, please put that in the comments below. But I really believe that we are in a scary new world as it pertains to ambition and success, right? I am told all the time to slow down, right? Like you might burn out. Don't overdo it. Slow down, Michelle. Take some time to smell the roses, etc. And all of these phrases have really increased in popularity lately, and not just lately. It's kind of been insidious a little bit, right? It's been a little bit over the past several years where success and effort and ambition, even work, has been demonized, right? If you suggest that able-bodied people work, then you're called names. And all the while, when you're hustling, when you've got ambition, you've got drive, you're demonized, or people act like it's a concern of theirs, right? All of this is happening in this weird little reversal that's almost been barely recognizable as the chorus of people who are encouraging people like you and I to slow down, don't push yourself too hard. You know, as they have grown louder, that chorus has grown in veracity and ferocity, right? Something interesting has also happened, right? Things that used to be a concern for people, for humanity, for your friends, things that used to be a concern are actually now celebrated. So I've seen this just in my 20-year career, right? I still feel like a baby. I still feel young in entrepreneurship, right? And in the real world too. But there's something that's happened as this chorus of people who have been rising up and encouraging us to, slow down and don't take on too much and all of this stuff, right? There's been another shift that's been equally, I guess, insidious. And that's that when there are things that used to be a concern that are no longer a concern, they're actually celebrated. So someone says publicly on Facebook, as an example, I just binge watched 12 hours of whatever show, right? Now, to be totally honest with you, my husband and I are looking for a show that we'd be willing to binge watch, right? We used to love watching Friends every Thursday night back in college. I used to love watching Melrose Place, and we've had some shows that we've been into in the past. And Shelby and I love to watch the Bachelorette series. A little bit embarrassed to admit that, but we love that. There's no harm in enjoying life and all of that. But when someone says, I binge watched something for 12 hours or a day or multiple days, right? Binging, by the way, used to be a bad thing, if anyone remembers that far back, right? If you binged, it was considered an unhealthy behavior, right? If you had a kid that spent a full day watching TV or even, playing a video game or whatever, you would be concerned because that much binging was considered an excess in life, right? And it would cause you concern. But today, someone says they binge watch something for a day or even several days, or they admit publicly. I'll never forget the first time this happened. It was at a sporting event for one of my kids. And this woman, literally readily admitted to spending 14 hours on that old, farming app on Facebook. I can't remember what it was called. It was like Fake Farm or something like that. It was a pretend farming where you planted pretend crops, and sometimes you paid real money, to plant these pretend crops. And she has spent 14 hours on that, and I'm horrified. And there's nobody in the whole group who's saying have you considered a counselor? Or, no one suggests that, or no one really bats an eye. They actually, nowadays, binging, I'm assuming, is not considered unhealthy. Ambition, they'll call us out on that every time. But binging or wasting 12 hours binge watching something, no one says anything. In fact, they don't just say, what are you escaping from? Or would you like to see my counselor? Or any of that. They actually suggest another app, a better app, or another series for you to binge watch. Now, for us, they say, slow down, don't push too hard. And I just want to clarify something. I am all about like rest and routines and taking care of myself and filling myself up. In my opinion, I practice like extreme self-care on the daily. That's my opinion, right? I do take care of myself, but I also push. I believe it's noble. I only get this one life, right? And I intend to go as far as I can with it, to accomplish what I'm here to accomplish, to push through boundaries and limits, frankly, to test limits and see what are the real limits in this world and what are the ones that we just put on ourselves, that what are imaginary. So for me, ambition is not ever going to be a dirty word, right? For me, if I'm going to err on one side or the other, and I believe sometimes we do, right? But if I'm going to err on one side or the other, it's going to be in the more direct and active participation in this life. It's not going to be falling into that which is now celebrated, which is binge eating, binge watching, binge whatever, right? So I'd love to know your thoughts on this. If you want to put those in the comments below, what questions you might have, if you have pushback on this. It just struck me the other day that, binging used to be a bad word and now it's like a totally celebrated word. And the flip side of that coin is that ambition used to be a good word, a noble word. And now it is just, almost demonized. And so I just wanted to kind of put this out there because we do live in a new world and we do have to choose which side of the coin that we're going to embrace. And just so everybody understands, I believe in order to push the way we want to, in order to satisfy and quench our drive, we do need to practice that self-care. And I'm not suggesting that if I found a great series that Chris and I could watch, that I wouldn't binge watch it for a couple hours, right? And there's no harm in any of that, but we do want to make sure that we're keeping things in check, right? That we're not just blindly following the rest of society into this view that work is bad and try to get out of it and try to get out early and try to avoid it altogether. Let's see how we can get paid and not work. Let's do the passive income thing. We want to make sure we're not just accepting that kind of slide where ambition is demonized and binge watching or sloth is celebrated, right? So that's my thoughts for today. I would love to know your thoughts, regardless of whether they align with mine, and I'd love to know how I can best help you in these mornings with Michelle. I don't know what we're going to cover tomorrow, so if you have an idea, definitely let me know, and I will see you again tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern for Mornings with Michelle. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.